So today we're gonna start her body. For the sculpture kind of, the caricature kind, you don't really have any commitment with the proportions, with the body. So for my caricature ones, I use a realistic face and a caricature body. This kind of skeleton is good because you can work with different sizes for legs and arms. It doesn't make you stuck, like there's no limitation. So it comes with a bigger arm and bigger legs, so you can choose whatever you want to do it. If you're rather doing like short legs, like the style that they call toy, or you can make this style like with very long legs. It's really up to you. You really don't have to follow the style that I do. So here I made two different printings. So I'm gonna work with this one, the bigger one. You guys can really work with whatever you rather. Here I'm going to start bringing these legs closer, otherwise she's gonna have two large hips. These legs cannot be so apart like that one. So I'm going to bring it out like that, and I'm gonna bring it in as close as I can with the bone. Is this right in the body? No, it's wrong. We do have, it comes out in the body for real, but this is not a realistic, so we can do that, okay? And here, same thing, here and here. So now I can work with the same style that I have in here. So I'm gonna make my body a little bit longer than that because the skeleton wood is not matching here, and it's okay. As I said, I did make this sketch based on this skeleton. So I'm gonna make everything a little bit longer in here, but that's really my option. So I'm going to start by curving the spine here. It needs to have a little curve. And we can also pose the skeleton before we start adding clay. We can make the pose. So I will do that pose. That was already a choice. So we don't really need to worry about the arms right now, but we can definitely worry about how the shoulders will go, and just to see the full pose, and then we change it. So make the spine curved. And then we have to decide where the knee is gonna go here. So the size of the knee. So we're gonna put in here with the spine curve and see how long we want this knee. So I'm gonna do my knee around here, a little bit longer as I said. So this part here is that part. So this would be this bone here. There's some muscle that go in the back here that is gonna make it longer. So when you put the skeleton on your reference body, you have to put it a little bit lower there to match that bone. And then, as you can see, this is a little bit lower than it should. Hers is here. Now mine is a little bit lower. So I'm gonna do a little bit longer leg, the neck a little bit longer, the knee. I'm gonna put around here. We can always change. If you see it's not in a good place, we can always change that after. So let me see again. So I'm gonna put the knee a little bit lower than hers here. I'm gonna put here. So I'm going to bend the knee. So it's good to mark the knee before you twist your skeleton so they turn out in the same position. It's easier. You can always measure after if you already posed or something. So you just bend over the knee here. And then here from the knee to the side you can make a little curve. Not much, just a bit to the back. And go back to the front. so you don't lose the knee. You know it's here. So this is gonna give you the knee position here. So before we pose her, I want to tell you guys some important tips about how to pose your sculpture. So this pose is a very, there's not a lot of movement on it, but you still can give it the movement. There is some movement here, but not all. Always choose for poses that give a lot of movement to your doll. What is it? What is movement for your doll? So the movement is, let me use this little one that I'm not going to use to explain. So as you can see here, she has one shoulder lower than the other. So this line is broken here, right? And if you see, her hips are also, it's also broken here. The line is like that. So this is perfect. This is a good, this is, there's movement in here. The lines between shoulder and hips are not straight. It's broken, and that's give movement to the sculpture. So when you do a sculpture, you have a line here that is the balance line. And if you make shoulders in the same line and hips in the same line, you get this. And that's zero movement. It's all balanced. When you do give movement, you break those lines here. So you break the shoulders for one side, the hips to the other. Never break to the same side. Always, they're always inverse. And then when you have this line here, you have shoulders and hips. Then you have movement in your sculpture. And the balance line is still there and still needs to be respected. So what is the balance line be respected? If you put one side, if you put one side more, if you get part of the body crossing more to this side of the line, the other part of the body must come more to this side, so you keep the balance. Otherwise it's going to look like your sculpture is falling. It's not respecting the balanced line. I'm going to explain that later, but let me show you here how the balance works. So see the difference between this one. So this leg would be straight and this one would have to be folded, because bending the knee here, because otherwise she wouldn't touch the foot in the floor, unless if this leg is bent, it's straight, and then this one is going to have to be on the tip of the foot to reach the floor, and the other one not. But for heels, she's already on the tip of the foot, so the two foot are on the tip, so to reach the line she would have to bend the knee here and the other one be straight. Okay, and the shoulders. So look at the difference. There's no zero movement, there's movements, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to do that on your sculpture. You always want to break those lines and give movement to your sculpture. So about the balance is, I'm gonna do on the profile, but it's the same for the front. So for the profile here, if you have a balance line here on the side, and you have a body, right? You have a back, butt, and legs here. So the head, that's the profile. So let's boobs here, make like this, and legs. This is balanced, but there's no movement. It's centered, so she's balanced. But if you break this line, so if stand up right now, if you're sitting, stand up and imagine this line on your body going to the center of your head and here. If you put your body to the front, if you break the line and bring your head here, can you keep your butt here? This is not balanced. This is zero balance here. If you do that, you will fall. You can't do that, because once you bring this part of the body here, this part has to be here. So the right way to do this is butt goes to the back. Your butt is going to go to the back, and you're going to do this. This is right. This is correct. And this butt here is wrong. So if you take part of the body, the top part, if you disrespect the balance line and bring it up. The bottom part must go to this side, inverse, so you have balance. Okay? Get up, look in the mirror on your profile, and try to put the top portion of your body to the front. Keep your hips on the same side. Maybe you can, but you're going to have to use a lot of muscle in here, so it's not going to be natural. To be natural, you need to bring the bottom to the back and the front to the front and the top to the front. I hope you guys understood. Okay, so the same thing is with the front line. If you bring this shoulder here, you have to bring the hip here. You have to balance in the line. Otherwise, when you look to the sculpture, it looks like she's not natural. Something's wrong, and that's because you didn't respect the balance line. Okay, she's not balanced. It's in an impossible position. Can you do that with a sculpture? Yeah, of course you can. It all depends. So let's say if you want to make a sculpture that she is in the middle of a falling, so she's like this with the foot, and yeah, she's not going to be respecting the line because she's falling, right? So you don't need to respect the line. Always you make a sculpture like you took a picture in the moment that she was falling. She's not going to be balanced. But if you want to do somebody that is standing and is not falling, you have to respect this line, even making a caricature. Okay? All right. So now that we know that, let's pose our doll. So what do I want to do here? First thing, I want to break the hips. And hers, as you can see, this knee is bending. This one is straight. So that means her hips are like this. And the shoulders, this one is higher than this. So this is what we're going to do with our doll. We're going to put this hip lower, like this. You go with the two iliacs and bend it. And then you don't need to bend and stay there. You come here, you bend, and the shoulder is opposite. So this one comes down, shoulder, this one goes up, this one goes up, and you put it straight like this. Okay, so this is broken. If you want to break it better here, you can kind of go in the center and twist like that and bring this one here, this one there. You can break it even more. She's not that much though. You can go more, but you don't have to. Don't forget, there's a curve on the profile. Doesn't matter how much you twist here, you have to keep the curve on the profile. Okay, so for that, she bended this knee. This one is straight. This knee is going in the front like that. Another way to pull this nice is like hold this leg here and bring this one down. It really gives you a good hip breaking, and then you bring this one back here like this. So this one come in, this one here, and then I will see. I still didn't decide the side of the foot. I'm just gonna leave a long leg here. And for the shoulder, this one is gonna be up. We can either bring that wire, or you can just do with clay after. You don't need to really do with the wire if you don't want to. So it's going to be something like that. I'm also going to decide on the size of the arms after. I rather giving me some freedom until I have more notion of the body, but it's something like that, right? Her pose. And there's still movement. I gave a little bit more than she has here. Something else that you can do to give movement is twist the body. So instead of having all straight, you can twist a little bit, so like this she can twist the hips to one side and the body to the other and kind of give it a twist. It also give more movement if you twist it. So you twist, you break those lines, always opposite, and you have a good movement for your sculpture, even if she's in this pose that is kind of a boring pose, or there's not really much to do here, but you can see this one has way more movement than this one, even though they are posed kind of the same. Even if I bend this knee and put like this, see, this is not movement, these have movement. So if you compare the two of them, you can see there's a lot of different if you break those lines. Okay, so now that we have the pose, we don't need to stick with this pose. Once you start sculpting, if you think you have to go more and drop the hip more here, you can still do it. Okay, so I'm gonna get my clay, and if you want, you can put some tin foil here. You don't have to, just to use less clay. Okay. This is enough structure for this sculpture. So I'm going to start filling up her belly. Let's call belly. So it's just in, you see, this looks like a bowl, right? So just fill up this bowl with clay on the front and go all the way to the top one and pull it in under the ribs, like that. Fill up this way. So in the back, you keep the curve and filling around here. Keep the curve in, the spine curve, and go all the way up like this. And now we're gonna mark the center between here to here. You go in the center like this, and here between here and here you go like this. This is because we have the capability to straight, right? So you go like this. So this line will not be straight, and the center here it won't. But first, once you do this line, you are gonna make this part skinnier, and this part can be bigger here, this part skinnier, and it's like you make a triangle, go in here, triangle down like this, and a triangle up like this, and this is in the center. Okay, so this is what we're looking for, like a triangle here, triangle there. It doesn't need to be fully triangle, obviously. You're gonna make this a little bit larger. And here, try to clean up the clay enough to reach the iliac. Iliac is this bone here. To reach it lower, and don't hide it. Not right now. Like that. And what you're gonna end up here is this curve can be deeper than this one, because she is this one is folding and this one is straighting, so this one can be less curved than this one, right? Like this. Okay, there. As I said, the arms bug me. You can just put them up like this, and then this is going to help you to don't mess up the proportions. That, I mean, just symmetry, because there's not really a commitment with the proportion, but this leg must be the same size as this leg, and everything must be the same size. So that's the kind of proportion that I am talking about here. And Here you're gonna make a line in the center of this bone with the center of this bone, and here in the center here you're gonna make a line. So you see the line, because she is, with the lines are broken, this line is not gonna be straight. It's going to be like that. These legs, it's gonna look weird now because these legs are coming up and she's not balanced at all, but once we finish it will look good. And now that we did that, we can cover the bone here, the top one, the thorax. So you just make a thin clay and put all the way around here. I try not to lose the shape, so I know that this is her hips, but you can even go, as I said, this distance was a little bigger than that one, so you can kind of fake it and make it smaller once you do this. So you cover up. And the same as the skull, avoid air between the two clays that you are blending together, and between the skull, the bones or resin, the skeleton, and the clay. So you avoid moonies like that. So here, I'm gonna cover this side too. Doesn't need to be perfect. The marks they don't need to be perfect. It's just to help you, to guide you. And here you're gonna continuate this line to her neck. And here the same, from her neck to here and to the center of this bone. So her spine is also twisted. Here. I like to make a big curve here. It's just something I like, but you guys don't have to. Make very skinny here. And I think she's twisting this body kind of here. This breast is more to the back than this one. I think it's more like that. I'm going to make a lot. It's a caricature, so I'm going to exaggerate in the movement. It's just something, I just decided to do that. So when you do a lot like that, you can't leave the legs going there. So you have to bring this leg out and this leg in, otherwise it's not going to be balanced. But you can change the size of the distance of the knee. So this knee is going to be way down here, this knee is going to be way up there, and that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, so this gave her even more movement. See? Now she's absolutely like, it looks like she wants to pee. Maybe I gave it too much. I'll see. I like it though, even if it looks like she needs to pee. I still like it. The tip of her knee here, it looks like it's going in, even though she doesn't have a knee, but just to avoid that she looks like she's going to go pee, I'm just gonna try to roll the knee out. If I can just put a little ball of clay there, and it's gonna be fine. Okay, for the legs, because she's wearing heels, and it's a lot of weight for just one wire to hold, I'm gonna get another wire here, and I'm gonna look for a thin but strong one. So let's go there and there. and this wire here, it's easier to wrap around. Take this leg out. Now she's going to be a ballerina. And just go like that. And then you're going to have to wrap this around until you get to the foot. Once you get to the foot, we have to split this in two, because one is going to be to the front of the foot, the other one is going to be the heels. This, I'm going to cut this excessive here. And then this is what I want. I want two ends here. Right? One is going to be for the heel, the other one for the foot. But I need to decide exactly how long I want the leg to be before I close this. Same thing with the other side. So you don't need to do this in every sculpture. It's really because she's standing on her foot and heels, and this is going to give more structure. But if your sculpture is sitting, or if there's no heels and you can place the whole foot to put on your base, then you don't need to do that. It's just because on heels it gets really weak, and we want to make it stronger. So now that we have the knee decided, which, as I said, we can still change after, let's start filling the legs so we can have a better idea on how it's going to turn out, and we can decide on the size of that part. For the leg, we don't want to make we want to make a very skinny legs, because that's how she has. And also for the caricature, I always make exaggeration of her body type. So if she's skinny, I'll make it even skinnier. It's already here because I deform her body on Photoshop. So here, where the leg meets the body here, is exactly where the wire is meeting, is right under the tip of the iliac here. So you're gonna put some clay in there. That's how I do. I put in the front of it and go all the way to her knee. From the front, I like doing it from the front to the back, and then get rid of the clay on the knee, so you know where the knee is. You don't lose it, because sometimes when we are filling up things, we can lose where we mark things, and then you're going to make different sizes for the two legs. So if you do lose where the knee is, make sure to always measure the two legs again, so you know where they are. And here, all you have to do now is really avoiding air, because it's not very easy to avoid the air in here. So if you have to go all the way and remove it, you can, because I got air in there. I felt it. So if you feel air, make sure to squeeze it out. If you're feeling that is a lot of air, cover up with a little bit of clay, bake it after it's in the right pose, and then you give the volumes after. And make sure to don't put volume in here. Okay, she needs to have this showing. Okay, and here you just also meet up the bone in the same spot that the wire is meeting up, because that's the right spot. Even though, as I said, it goes out and in, but ours is not going to, because it's a caricature and we are exaggerating her body type, so very skinny hips. You go all the way up there. We're not going to make that skinny legs, we're going to make more volume here. That is just because I wanted to make sure there wasn't air inside. So there you go. It's not going to be that skinny, don't worry, and don't forget to mark the knee. Let me see if it's matching. It's a little bit longer. It's way longer actually, but I like it. For her body type, I like it. So same thing, you can try to go a little bit thicker, but I felt a lot of air, so I'm just gonna go skinny, and then I'll add volume after. So it looks like the knee is on the wrong spot because one is way higher than the other one, but it's because her hips are not aligned. Okay, I think when you put the clay now, even if she's very skinny, you can understand better the pose that she's doing. Okay, so squeezing very well to make sure there's no air. So for when she has the leg very straight without bending her knee, I even like to do this opposite curve here to look like she's not bending her knee at all. Like this. Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to decide on the size of the leg. And I'm gonna put, like this is where I bended the knee. If you are in doubt of the size of the knee, measure it again. So measure this one here to here and measure this one here to here. See, is the same. It looks this one is like this one is longer, but it's just the position that she's put in her body. So you can put a little ball or a big ball or whatever is going to help you. One in each knee. There. Right there. Yeah, I like it. Mine is more exaggerated than this one, but I like it. If you don't want to do so much, you don't have to. You don't even need to do this pose, okay? I'm teaching you the technique that you can do, the pose that you like. If you want to look for something different, go ahead. Different outfit, go ahead. All right, let me put her arm up again. And now I'm gonna measure the leg that I want. So hers have kind of this. I think this one I went too down. This one too little. So I think I'm gonna follow this one. I have to put a little bit of more wire in that side, so they are both same size, to don't mess up the symmetry on the legs. This knee is going in, so I'm gonna bring this ball more here, and this one is not, so that's more her pose here. And now that I know where the foot is gonna be, I can bring this wire a little bit to the front, like this, because this is the curve. So let me do here, right, knee here. So the white wire I'm gonna use to go in the front, like this, and the skinny wire, it's gonna go to the back and this. So we have to kind of do fold it here to make the heels right there. Okay, so the wire looking on the profile, it needs to have the white one goes here, and then once you have the foot sculpted, the foot is gonna do this and our wire is gonna do this. That's the base. And the heels can go a little bit to the back and then here. So the wire, we kind of have to do these foldings to the wire. And so for the white one, I'm gonna measure the size that I want her foot to be, not counting the toes, just the front of her foot, like this. We can follow this one, it's a good one, or you can do a very tiny foot or a very big foot, doesn't matter. So once you have decided what size you want, you just, from here, you fold it in like this. So this is going to be, show here, the base is gonna be like this. Let's see if I can show in here, just for showing that. So this is what I mean. This is the foot. Then we're gonna have her toes coming here, like this, right? So we're gonna have toes, foot, and the other wire, it's not in the right position, is gonna be the heel in there. So just so you guys understand what we're doing here. So foot, our wire goes down, her toes goes and match the base, and this one we can bring a little bit out and then down for the heels. There. Then this is her heels. This is not in the right position. This would have to be more a part of each other, but this is kind of what we're gonna have with this hole coming straight here. Okay, and same thing here. Bring this one to the back a bit, this one to the front. It's a little bit harder to do it, but it makes your sculpture so much stronger that it's worth. So this, when you do that, these two must to match. So we're gonna have to change the pose for these two to match, because they cannot have, this is the base, right? This is where the base is gonna touch it, and the base is gonna be aligned. She's not on steps, on the stair or something. So these two needs to match up. So either you bend this knee more, like this, or you have to put one foot more on the tip than the other, which it also can be made. Even with heels, you can go on your tips more. So I think now they are aligned. There. Okay. And this cannot be going inside like that, so I'm gonna put it outside. It was too much. Look into inside and just twist like there. Okay, so I don't know if you guys understood what we're doing here. So to make sure you did, I'm going to draw again. So what we did here is a foot looking on the side. So legs, foot on heels, right? This is what we are trying to do. So what I did here is the white wire, once it reached here, I bend it to the front like this, and when I reach the floor, I bend it down. So this is what I got. And with the thin wire, I bend it out and down to make the heels. So this is what we have in here. Let me see if I can put it right there. See? So this, it's not bended properly because I need to have the base, but this is not, we're gonna have this mobile, like you can change it when you make the base and you can put it in. It's not gonna have clay on it, so it doesn't need to be exactly in the right position right now. And this must be folded according to how much you want the heel to be high. So if you want the heel not to be so high, then you fold it more like this, so the foot is more, it's flatter. And if you want very high, then you leave it down. Okay? So that's why these two tips must to match, because if you have the other foot here, this must be on the base too. It doesn't matter where or the pose, these two needs to touch the floor, unless she has one leg out of the floor and the other one in the floor, which I don't want to do it because it's going to be weaker, just two wires holding the full structure. So I'm going to place the 2 foot on the floor and make sure that I have the 4 wires to give it a better structure to it. So I'm going to put some clay on the leg now. right there, and make sure there's no air, and make sure that this is going to be very skinny too, because I want her to be very skinny, so I don't want to put any extra clay here. It's pretty much just going to cover all this wire. I'm not putting any volume still, and same thing with the other one. What I like to do here too that makes it easier, I put in the front and I start bringing to the back, and it gets all big on the back, and I just come with the scissor and cut the excessive clay here. It is also, I don't know, just a way to put it that if you're having difficulties to do it, that might help. There. Okay, and I'm gonna put her butt. So for her butt, I'm gonna do, let's see. I'm Brazilian, so I always make big butts. But I don't think Emmy had a big butt, but it's still, my Emmy will have bigger because it's made from a Brazilian. So I'll make 2 little balls just to get the same size. Kind of same size, and these balls are gonna become drops. So drops, 2 drops. And I'm gonna put these drops right here. There's a, you see this little triangle here? So this is going to be like, if you look to a butt, you have butt. And let's pretend she has like this kind of bikinis, Brazilian bikinis, that is just a little triangle here and goes here. So this is it's going to be exactly this little triangle that you have here, so it makes it easier for you to place the drops in there. And leave this triangle right there. Oops. I deformed my drop. Just trying to give the same shape for the 2 of them. There. And yes, the butt is going not to be straight because it's also not a line. So you see, it's aligned with the hips, right? This one is going to be higher than this one, and that's correct. Now the leg must be in the right pose, and you bring the butt down here and connect them together. Same thing here, you turn to the side and bring it down, connect them together. So just attach them to the resin and attach it here. Mine is dirty with clay here, brown clay, but it won't show. Okay, and one thing that I want to say is be careful, because as you can see, the butt is on the back. It doesn't show on the sides. If you turn in the front, you will not see it on the sides, but you will see it down here, and that's correct. Okay, so this is where the butt would go. It's still small. I still feel like I need more butt here. Well, we can always add more once we have more and more of our sculpture. All right, so there it is. I'm just going to connect here and here. Like this. And now we're going to make kind of like a bikini for her, but not really a bikini, but kind of. Or panties, or whatever you want to call. So I'm going to make a little triangle. This is not going to show, but I'm just showing in case you make a doll on a bikini or naked, so you know. So you see this, if you see the bone here, we have it, this structure here with little holes here. So our bikini is going to come down here. we're gonna add clay here and make this triangle down here. And the bikini would be this, covering this here. So, with my triangle here. So, we're gonna put it right there. See? Right there, and bring it in according to the bone is going in. This is also gonna go in and in there. And that's it. You have it covered. There we go. Back. Okay, now guys, what I have to do here is I have to make the holes for the base. So I'll have to get a base. It doesn't need to be the base that you will use for her. It can be another base. It can even be one of those bases that have I'm gonna show you guys here. So this base is just an MDF. Cut it the size that you want, and those are the holes that I made, extra holes that I made for different sculptures that I used. I have more than one base like that, and here are just holes, and they have to be deeper, so when you lay down, the nut that is in here doesn't stick out and get it unbalanced. Okay, so this is my husband made a drawing here. So that's the MDF. That will be the MDF, and then the nut has to go inside. And we use a 5/16" nut. It depends on how thick is the threaded rod. So ours is 5/16. And here on the rod you will put a lock washer that has this little thing here. That's a lock washer, and this is just a regular nut, same one that we have inside there, just regular. So you will put the washer, the lock washer here, and the nut, and then you're gonna stick it in. So that lock washer is gonna lock this here, and you can just placing in. It doesn't need to be crazy placed. Okay, and here all you do is, and to go on top here, once you have the rod stuck in, you just put a wing nut, 2 large washers, and another wing nut. So have to have that. And then the wire is gonna be inside here, and you just press it in and your sculpture is safe. The good about this is that you can change the height according to the pose of your sculpture, and also the wire you can put in and out also to pose your sculpture better. So it's pretty good. Okay, the size of the rod must fit your oven. Don't forget about that, because then you can always place your sculpture standing. So this is exactly the size of my oven. So that's the maximum that I can have, and if I want to make big sculptures, I would probably rather get in a bigger oven than laying down my sculpture. Sometimes you can lay down, but it's always more risky to lay down. You can try though. I rather having this the same size of my oven. Okay, so that's how you get this base done. And again, you don't have to have this base. You can only work with the holes in here and put your sculpture in there. All right, so let's continue it. And then here you can put a wire, connect a wire on the neck or on the body if you want, whatever you want. I usually make on the body, but for a caricature I can make on the back, because I can put her head after. I mean, it's just easier to connect. So what we're gonna do here is connect this here to the back and put her here, make the holes. Now we have to mark where the holes will be, and I'm gonna cut this a little bit It's too big. I want her foot to be able to go all the way in. And I already like this leg. I like this size, so yes, I'm gonna say yes for it. I'm gonna cut in here. Cut in here. And then I'm gonna cut the heels. I'm gonna cut here. And that's gonna make it easier for me to know where the holes will be. And now that I have her body, because once I put this, even if like it's a very, very skinny thing, I can still see better the pose and what I really want. So, I don't know, it helps me to do this way. But if you rather, you can just pose her and then put it in your base. And then if you don't have that, it's okay. Just make the holes, the 4 holes, and work with her right there. This is just an extra holding thing. You don't really need. It helps, but you don't really need. So make sure to put the foot in the right position that you want. And then you can make the hole. I'm gonna bring this foot more outside here, like this. I think that's good. And I'm going to use one of the holes that I already have, so I don't have to make so many holes in my base. Just put this heel thing where I think it will be. Maybe her foot can be closer. Just looking here to kind of copy what she was actually doing, because then we get her personality in the pose as well. Okay, so I'm gonna mark it. Heels built around here, and this one here, this heel around here. That's it. Well, the distance of them should be same, so I'm gonna try to respect that. So 1 hole here, 1 hole here, 1 hole here, and I'm gonna use this one that is already there. So I'm gonna do that now, and I'll be back with the base already with the holes for us to continue the sculpture. So I got the holes and I put it in, and that's what I got here for her. And this is still loose. But as you can see, if you don't have this kind of base, it's still really firm for you to work. It's not going to be like super hard. And now that I have it in there, that's actually when I can see what I've got done for the pose. So I am going to repose better, because as you can see, it looks like she's bending to the front, so I have to bring her back here and make her respect the balance line, not being laying down to any side or front or back, and be really standing on her foot. And this is what I got. So repose your doll. The arms doesn't matter, really. And what is important here to pose, you can put the head if you want, so you can see better. But before you put the head, don't forget that the neck must go to the front. Okay? This is really important to have movement in your sculpture. You bring the neck to the front, because this is how our neck goes. You can even go more. And because she's putting her shoulders is not aligned, the neck tend to also be to one side. You can fix and put the neck in the pose you want. Then you can go ahead and put your head just to test your pose. So, and I can cut the neck if I want after she's baked, so I don't have to put pressure in here. So this is kind of what we got there. The hands are gonna come here. You can even cut the wire if you want. It's not gonna be that long for sure. So I'm gonna cut it. Always measure to cut everything the same size, matching sizes, so you don't mess up. Put this one right there. So you have a pretty good view of what you're doing here, and before you bake you know exactly the final result there. And then when you like the pose, when you like what you got, you just get the wire from the neck, straight it, open up your nut, place the wires between the washers like this. See if she is straight here or if she needs to come back here. I think I like better back here. And tie up the nuts. So your wire will stay there nicely. And you can always come here and lock them. Cut the excess. There you go. Okay, so before I bake, I also like to get a little bit of acetone and clean up. So just clean up a bit before you bake. And for this one, I'm gonna bake for 15 minutes. It's not very thick clay. You can keep the head in here. You can take it off if you want. It doesn't really matter.